Right, chapter 3, lesson 5, percent of change notes. So give you a minute to write some stuff down. Or you can pause it, whatever. Always set ourselves up over here. Looking at our new subscribers, Luna the Fox, and Ryan Insall, and Mermaid Lover 16. Wow. Dangerous Savage says, sup. Not much. Sup with you. So when will it be useful to determine the percent of change? And then to do this, so the only actual note parts of this, to find percent of change, you write a proportion comparing the change to the original amount. So it's still a percent proportion, still part to whole. Only now, what makes it even easier is that every single one will look exactly the same. It'll always be the amount of change compared to the original amount. So still numbers on the left side. Not a very good number sign. Try that again. Numbers. And it's still percents on the right side. Only now it's always going to be percent of change up top and 100 on the bottom. Okay, that's the entirety of the notes. Everything else is just going to be practice. That's right, dog. Practice. Alright, so if you don't have this down, pause it because I'm going to get started. So example 1 says I ran 15 miles. Or last week, I ran 15 miles. This week, I ran 20 miles. I don't know who Miss Geyer thinks she's fooling, saying she ran 15 and 20 miles, but whatever. Determine the percent of change. Okay. So we're going to start this off. I'm going to look at my notes here, make sure I don't mess this up. So it's going to be part to whole. It's going to be amount of change on top. So to find the amount of change, this is the part that's actually new. We need to know what did our number actually change by. So since we started at 15 and ended at 20, we need to know what is the difference between those two. So we would say, what is 20 minus 15? So this is the new minus the original. And that gives us 5, which represents our amount of change. And we said the amount of change will always be our part. So we can put 5 on top. Our whole thing is the original amount, which said was 15 last week, what we started with. Okay, and that's our ratio with our numbers. So if we notice, once we subtract, we never go back to this new number. It's not going to be part of our proportion. So it's always going to be how much it changed by compared to how much you started with. Okay, equals, determine a percentage, which means we don't know what the percent's going to be, but the whole percent will always be 100. Okay. So then from here, this is just a proportion, so we cross multiply. Same as always. Cross multiply, then divide. Same as always. So we have 100 times 5 is 500 divided by the number we did not multiply. So this is going to be 500 divided by 15. So 15 goes into 50 3 times. 3 times 15, 45. And if you notice, this repeats. So 50, 50. Which means we're just going to keep getting 3s. Alright. So we can say that what is the percent of change in the mileage we ran? We can say it's about a 33.3 repeating percent. And now here's the part that's new. In addition to percent, we need to say which way is it going. Is it getting more or is it getting less? So since we went from 15 to 20, it's a 33.3% increase. So I guess we did need the new number again, very briefly. So from the original to the new, it got bigger. It's an increase. If it went down, it'd be a decrease. And that's it. So one new step, not just subtracting. Then we solve proportions like we usually do. Okay. Example 2. Determine the percentage change from 30 to 70. So it's nice and straightforward. So we still say part to whole. Okay. The whole thing is the original amount. It's 30. To find the amount of change, we'd say what's the new minus the original. So 70 minus 30 is 40. So that's the amount of change. That's our part. So notice here this is an improper fraction, which means our percentage for the first time in a while is going to be more than 100. Spoilers. So we're still determining percent. This is still x. This is pretty common. Most of the examples you're going to see, it's going to be x over 100. Okay. So then we cross multiply. So 100 times 40 is 4,000. And then we have 4,000 divided by 30. So that's 1. And then 10. Bring down the 0. 30 into 100, 3 times. 3 times 30 is 90. And then here we go again. It's another repeating. It's even repeating the same number. This is 0.3. So we put a 3 up here. 0.3. It's not very exciting, but okay. So we say 133.3 repeating. And then again, since it's going from 30 to 70, it's getting bigger. You can say it's 133.3 repeating percent increase. And that's it. So we subtract, write our proportion, solve the proportion. Piece of cake, hopefully. All right, a couple more. Now I'm not sure what guy wrote here. I know it's Q-U-E-N-T. I'm not sure what this letter was. I went with O. I'm calling him Quentoy. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a C. And Quency. That's kind of weird spelling too. I don't know. You can call this dude. I don't even know if this is a dude. This might be a lady. I'm not familiar with this name. But whoever it is, whomever it is, they bought a jacket for $300. And now this week, jacket's on sale for $225. So our person got unlucky. Bought it when it wasn't on sale. Now it's on sale. Want to determine the change in price so we can rub it in their face that they got ripped off. Hey, Trevor Power. What's up? So what are we doing? Okay, part to whole. Solving a proportion. Somewhere in the comments, write what you think this person's name should be. So again, we're determining percentage change, so we don't know this. We do know the whole thing will always be 100. I don't know why I call this percent. We can call this something else. Let's call it X, because that's what we call it every time. It can be any letter you want. Okay, the original price, what we started with, was $300. Okay, and then we want to know what was the amount of change. So what did the price change by? So it started at 300. And this one, our order is a little bit different so that we can still subtract it. So minus 225, this is the new. And this also gives us a hint as to what we're going to have at the end. 300 minus 225 is 75. This is the amount of change. So we can put 75 up top. And we cross multiply. Every single time. So 75 times 100. Also, it's really nice when we're solving for percentages. It's always something times 100. So we get really good at multiplying by hundreds. So 75 times 100 is, you guessed it, 7,500 divided by 300. So that is a number we did not just multiply. Since I'm feeling a little bit lazy, I can simplify both of these by 100. Cross off my 2 zeros here. And then I can just say, what's 75 divided by 3? And 3 goes into 7 2 times. That's 6. This one won't be repeating. That's nice. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. So what happened to the price? It changed by 25%. But now this time, since the price went down, instead of an increase, we say this is a 25% decrease. Because we said if we look at the way we subtracted, instead of putting new on top, now it's original. So if the original is more than the new, it has to be a decrease. Okay, almost done. One more. So last year, school had 980 students. This year we have 1,078. Determine the percent of change. I don't know if these are real numbers or if we just made them up. Sounds right, 1,078. Might be Caffey. So let's see, part to whole. Every time, write the key, because we're not lazy kids. Fraction equals fraction. X, because we're still saying determine percent of change, still X over 100. Or W over 100, or A over 100, something over 100. The original amount started at 980 kids. We want to know what did it change by. So we have 1,078. It's our new, minus 980. It's our original. So if you look at that, we know this is going to be an increase, right? So we have now more than what we started with. So 8 minus 0 is 8. Oh, we got to borrow here. This is going to be 9, 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. Alright, I changed these numbers so it would be easier for me because I'm lazy. So our change is 98. This is so nice. For the people who've been paying attention, probably know what the answer is already. So now we can cross multiply. So 98 times 100. Oh, let me write my instructions. Cross multiply. Then divide. Every time. Our summary should be, we cross multiply and divide in math a lot. That's what we learned today. That's what we learn every day. And proportions are amazing. So 100 times 98 is 9,800. Okay, divided by 980. Which only sounds terrible. In reality, it's going to be really easy. Because 980 goes into 980 one time. And then 980 minus 980 is exactly 0. So we have nothing left to divide. So since our decimal is right here, we need one more 0 there. So we can say, what did the population of the school change by? We can say it's a 10%. And since it went up, increase. And that's it. That's the whole thing. That's percent of change. Still writing proportions, with a little bit more subtracting. Okay? That's it. Okay. I don't have anything else to say.